My name is Irma Wani Othman from Universiti Malaysia Sabah. This paper established a discussion on significance of life principles with relation to religious, cultural, practices of beliefs and insights about the world as a whole, worldview, expatriate academics at Public University of Malaysia. The Islamic world and the career significance of Muslim expatriate academics with regards to the beliefs of individual life in contributing to society and religion itself. As a country that recognizes Islam as the official religion of Malaysia, has its own uniqueness when placing emphasis by offering educational programs based on the concept of Islam, the Quran, and Sunnah. The element of reviving the concept of Islamic learning succeeded in attracting a community of Muslim expatriate academics to come to work in Malaysia. Therefore, this study is designed to identify the motives considered by Islamic expatriate groups when choosing a career destination in a Malaysian public university. A qualitative approach that utilizes in-depth interviews was conducted on 30 Muslim expatriates working at 4 selected public universities in the country. The results of the study found 3 main motives that catalyse the arrival of Muslim expatriate academics to Malaysian public universities are, firstly, the principle of life based on Islam as a religion of faith, secondly, the tendency of the family to be in the life of the majority of the Muslim community and, thirdly, career in the context of the privilege of offering the concept of Islamic studies program in Malaysian public universities. The findings of this study are useful for formulating internationalization policy with a religious background as a principle of career development. The direction of this study can be disseminated to the focus on the governance and policy of universities based on Islamic higher education. The Ministry of Higher Education Malaysia has undertaken various efforts in achieving the internationalization trend of Malaysian institutions of higher learning by focusing on Malaysia as a hub of educational glory in the Asian region. Statistics released by the Ministry of Higher Education over the past decade have recorded an increase in the number of expatriate academics at Public University of Malaysia. Interestingly, the number of Muslim expatriates has seen an increase in several universities in the country. Therefore, the discussion in this article tries to unravel the motive behind the arrival of Muslim expatriate academics to serve in public universities of Malaysia in particular. In the context of this study, the presence of expatriates is explained in relation to more personal motives, namely religious elements, principles of life, beliefs, and value of self as the pillars of the selection of expatriation destinations. The motives of life are understood as a philosophy of life of a person that is instilled in oneself from a young age as well as a guide in daily life. The core of such life is influenced by the background of the individuals as well as the recipient of religious upbringing from the parents. The principle of life has a close bond with religious beliefs, which is an expatriate's guideline and should not be arbitrarily influenced by current development. Religious issues are a sensitive topic and deserve privilege in terms of privacy and the right to profess and practice a religion. Ultimately, this study explores the question of whether an expatriate's period of expatriation experience with various motives related to career, family, and so on will ultimately place the principle of life as a significant factor. If this assumption is correct, then the findings of this study are said to support the general notion that the decision of Muslim academic expatriates is influenced by the motives of life principles, which is a common phenomenon faced by majority of Muslim expatriates when deciding to expatriate. By applying thematic analysis, the data obtained from in-depth interviews produced 3 main themes, namely, the first one is the principle of life based on Islam as a religion of faith. The second one is the tendency of the family is in the life of the majority of the Muslim community, and the third and final one is the career in the context of the privilege of offering the concept of Islamic studies programs in Malaysian public universities. Principles of life. The motives of expatriation most frequently discussed by respondents who migrated abroad often referred to living principles associated with a vision of the world as a whole. The principles of life held by the expatriates refer to the religious elements and belief in the noble values and identity that guide the daily lives of expatriates and families. The design of this case study involved 3 public universities that have the concept of studies based on Islamic law. The results of the thematic analysis of this study have produced several motives that can be attributed to the arrival of Islamic academics to serve in Malaysian public universities. Number 1. Philosophy and direction of life as a Muslim. Number 2. Access to halal food. Number 3. Parental suggestions and influences. Number 4. Islamic education and welfare of children. Number 5. Dependence on spouse support. Number 6. Philosophy and direction of university education. And number 7. Career opportunities. Number 1. Philosophy and direction of life as a Muslim. The philosophical motives and direction of life as a Muslim who saw the status of Islam as the official religion of the country became the main attraction of the majority of the respondents to expatriate to Malaysia. The expatriates' way of life based on the principle of practicing the characteristics of Islam in themselves in every aspect of their lives is evidenced by the respondents' statements explained the difficulty living life as a Muslim with various constraints in Western countries and where the philosophy and direction of a Muslim is linked to self-commitment to strive in producing professionals who do not stray to gain the pleasure of Allah. Number 2. Access to halal food sources. Majority of the respondents interviewed expressed their gratitude for being in a country where they do not have to worry about the source of halal food in Malaysia. This is because the Malaysian government has an efficient and strict organization to monitor the management of halal food for the welfare of the Muslim community. Expatriates' confidence in Malaysia's reputation as an Islamic country makes them hesitate to accept job offers here and bring their families to live in Malaysia. From the statements submitted by the respondents above clearly shows how important access to halal food for Muslim expatriates. The management and handling of halal food in this country, which is done transparently and efficiently, has given high confidence to Muslim expatriates in choosing Malaysia as their destination to work here. In addition, Malaysia's efforts in promoting halal food at the world level have received support from the Muslim community. The positive reaction from the outside community to the concept of encouraging the selection and adoption of food based on halal products has lifted Malaysia to gain recognition as a halal hub in the Southeast Asian region. Family. Family motives are among the dominant themes issued by the respondents, where most say the tendency of their respective families to live in countries with a majority Muslim population. The reasons given are almost identical tone, which is the principles and morals of life can be maintained while living in the Muslim community. Thus, it is clear that exhibiting the concern of expatriates regarding family choices in order to maintain the well-being involving each other. The priority of placing the family as the motive for expatriation stressed the strong family bond, not only referring to the spouses and children who accompanied the expatriate to the host country. Even the views and comfort of the decision are also generated from the influence of parents, immediate family, and even close acquaintances left behind in the country of origin. Number 3. Parental suggestions and influences. The decision to choose Malaysia as a migration destination takes into account the closest significant parties in expatriate life. In the context of the Islamic family, parents are likened to be the pillars of the children's self in seeking blessings in this life and the hereafter. The institution of the family places the blessings of parents in a place of reverence, loved and respected human beings. Thus, the influence of parents on the decisions of their children is said to be only for the good of themselves, their families, society and their own religion. In other words, the principles of life held by expatriates is associated with conformity to the advice of parents, where there is an understanding of blessings for oneself, family, society and the universal Muslim Ummah. Number 4. Islamic education and welfare of children. Among the things highlighted as motives for expatriation to Malaysia is referring to the need for a guaranteed Islamic education and a more guided future welfare of children. The efforts made by respondent to choose host destination in building career is closely related to the well-being and welfare of the children, who have continuity with Islamic education. It is clear from here that the motive regarding family has become a priority among Muslim expatriates who wanted the elements of religious beliefs to be united in order to obtain satisfaction in their lives and careers. Number 5. Dependence on spouse support. The principles and morals of Muslim expatriates' life and the influence of the family in choosing the destination of the Muslim community are the essence of the arrival of expatriates to Malaysia. Majority of the revelations received was related to the role and influence of the family in emphasizing the importance of being in a country was occupied by a majority Muslim community. In that context, the dependence of support from a life partner has always been a priority for expatriates. If their partner is not happy to accompany the expatriate to the host country, then the issue could have a negative impact on the overall process of assimilation and the success of the assignment abroad. Career. The opportunity to build a career in a university that offers the uniqueness of various study programs based on Islamic law is the main reason for most of the respondents who wants career satisfaction as a true Muslim. From the perspective of expatriates who consider a career to be a jihad in life in the world, and as educators the most effective preaching is given through their students. Therefore, the motive for choosing Malaysia as a career destination is influenced by the privilege of offering the concept of Islamic studies programs in Malaysian public universities itself. Number 6. Philosophy and direction of university education. The philosophical and direction motives of university education based on Islamic law are the main tendencies of expatriates when making decisions in choosing Malaysia as a career destination. According to respondents, the decision to migrate to this country was due to the university offering job with a vision, mission, and philosophy guided by the teachings of Al-Quran and As-Sunnah, which is his principle of life. Based on the statement submitted by majority of the respondents described his confidence in the reputation of the university in the country, which places the concept of Islamic education based on Al-Quran and As-Sunnah as the core of the vision, mission, and philosophy of the university itself. In fact, the presence of Muslim expatriates to the country has contributed to the high increase in the total number of expatriates in Malaysian public universities. Number 7. Career opportunities. The majority of the respondents agree with the fact that a career opportunity at an international Islamic university is the first acceptable opportunity in the life of a Muslim expatriate. The golden opportunity was not wasted because spreading the message of Islam through the field of education is a privilege given only to qualified educators not only in their respective fields of expertise, but also more emphasize with the concept of teaching based on the teachings of Al-Quran and As-Sunnah. Some expressed the act of migrating to another country is due to the university education system in the country of origin, which does not help to utilize the expertise possessed. In fact, the existence of discriminatory practices of skin color and religious beliefs make it difficult for Muslim expatriates to move forward. The lack of a support system in the country itself has catalyzed expatriates to create career opportunities abroad. Discourse formulations and recommendations. The discussion in this paper generally discusses the relevance of the principle of life and worldview of Islamic academics' expatriation in vitalizing a career in Malaysia. The real motives of the Muslim expatriates who serves in this public universities of this country explain the importance of the principles of life associated with the vision of the world as a whole. The principles of life held by the expatriates refer to the religious elements and beliefs in the noble values and identity that guide the daily lives of expatriates and family. The matter is emphasized through the philosophical motives and direction of life as a Muslim who sees the status of Islam as the official religion of the country as the main attraction of the majority of respondents in this study to expatriate to Malaysia. There are: first, Family motives were among the dominant themes released by the respondents, where most said the propensity of their respective families to live in countries with a majority of Muslim population. The decision to choose Malaysia as a migration destination takes into account the closest significant parties in expatriate life. In the context of Islamic family, parents are likened to be the pillars to the children in seeking blessings in present life and the hereafter. The institution of the family places the blessings of parents in a place of reverence, loved and respected human beings. Second, among the issues highlighted is the motive of expatriation to Malaysia is referring to the need for guaranteed Islamic education. Apart from that, a more guided future welfare of children, where the choice of destination of the host to build his career is related to the welfare of children who have survived with Islamic education. It is clear from here that family motives have become a priority among Muslim expatriates who want the elements of religious beliefs to be united to get the satisfaction of their lives and careers. Third, besides that, the principles and morals of Muslim expatriate life and the influence of the family in choosing the destination of the Muslim community are the essence of the arrival of expatriates to Malaysia. Majority of the disclosure received related to the role and influence of the family in emphasizing the importance of being in a country occupied by a majority Muslim community. In that context, the dependence of support from a life partner has always been a priority for expatriates. If their partner is not happy to accompany the expatriate to the host country, then the issue is likely to have a negative impact on the whole process of assimilation and the success of the assignment abroad. Fourth, meanwhile, the understanding that the support of expatriate spouses is able to transform the performance of international assignments carried out while abroad is the main motive for expatriate to take into account the consensus of their spouses before any migration decision is made. In that context, the responsibilities of expatriate spouses are broader, as they have to face the challenge of building a life, managing children as well as families in a foreign environment while expatriates are working. Even the success of expatriates in carrying out assignments is greatly influenced by the ability of their wives and children to feel comfortable while in the host country. The ideal partner is an individual who can be supportive, has emotional stability, is able to adapt to a new environment and is open-minded to the life changes they are going through. Finally, this study is related to the confidence of expatriates in Malaysia's reputation as an Islamic country, causing them not to hesitate to accept job offer here and bring their families to live in Malaysia. In other words, the management and handling of halal food in this country, which is done transparently and efficiently, has given high confidence to Muslim expatriates in choosing Malaysia as their destination to come to work here. Their reaction of gratitude for being in a country that does not have to worry about the source of halal food in Malaysia indicates that the Malaysian government has an efficient and strict organization to monitor the management of halal food for the welfare of the Muslim community. The direction of the study. Discussions related to the career development of Muslim expatriates are said to be fairer and more equitable in countries that do not practice discrimination of skin color or religion has been the reason for some of them to migrate to Malaysia. Besides, the Islamic world lacks the identity and value of high scholarship in producing works of reference sources in the field of Islamic education. From that perspective, the advantages gained in Malaysia are valued as a golden opportunity to develop a career as an Islamic scholar. The advantage of serving in an international Islamic university is also considered a dream come true with the diversity of Islamic academic expatriates who come from all over the world. Backward countries such as Bangladesh, Myanmar, Indonesia, and Pakistan are paired with scholars from developed countries such as France, Britain and the United States to support the philosophy, mission, and vision of the university to implement Islamic education in accordance with the teachings of the Quran and Sunnah. Another thing that is emphasized in this discussion is related to the trend of internationalization of the higher education system, where the influx of high Islamic academics in Malaysia generates benefits to the national education system, which successfully gathers new skills and knowledge of various spectrums and fosters a strong international research network. The state of the non-progressive education system makes it difficult for many Islamic academics from performing their responsibilities as an educator in their home country. The shortage that resulted in the migration of academic masters out of the problems of the education system in the country of origin has become a trend of increasing the number of independent academics seeking opportunities to pursue careers abroad, such as in Malaysia. Thoroughly, it clearly shows that the motives discussed persist in explaining the real meaning that led to the decision to expatriate for Muslim expatriates. Each of the motives exhibits a real thing that describes what the respondent experienced while in the country of origin. The feelings of dissatisfaction, frustration, and compulsion experienced in the country of origin have convinced the respondents of this study to decide to leave their country of origin in order to get a better life for themselves and their families. The purpose of this study can further focus on a detailed understanding of the catalytic factors to the retention of Muslim expatriates in Malaysia and the benefits gained by the country's higher education system as a result of their contribution in the Islamic world. Thank you.